Hi class, today's lesson is lesson 3-6, dividing decimals by whole numbers. Let's take a look at the purpose. Purpose for today is to divide decimals solely by whole numbers. We're not going to divide decimals by decimals today. That will happen in the next lesson. No vocabulary, no new vocabulary for today. Let's go ahead and go right into the teeth of it. We are here tasked with finding the quotient being the answer to any division problem. Here we have 75 hundredths divided by 5. Now, before we actually find the answer, we need to go ahead and estimate first. Now, when I look at 75 hundredths, I think about it in terms of 75 cents, like 75 hundredths of a dollar. So if I think about this, and this is going to be 75 cents, let me divide that by a number that is compatible to 5, and I'm going to do that by dividing it by 3. When I divide 75 cents by 3, I'm left with 3/4, or 3 25-cent pieces, which is 25 cents. So how do I write 25 cents in terms of hundredths of a dollar? Well, I write it this way. Now, my answer should be around 25 hundredths of a dollar. Since these pieces here, I've only divided between 3 people, I'm going, and I've got to divide it actually by 5. My actual answer will be less than 25 hundredths. So now I go about dividing. 75 hundredths divided by 5. What I do immediately is place a decimal point in the quotient right above that dividend. This is called the dividend. The quotient, or the answer to the problem, is right above here. Decimals need to be aligned. 5 goes into 0 times. 5 times 0, 0 times 5 is 0. Subtract here. It is 0. Bring down the 7. 5 goes into 7 once. 1 times 5 is 5. 7 subtract 5 is 2. Bring down the 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. I subtract here, I get 0. There's no remainder. So my answer here is 15 hundredths. Is that close to the estimation of less than 25 hundredths? You betcha. So this is certainly a reasonable answer, as well as I know it's accurate. Let's go to 2 and 52 hundredths divided by 3. Now when I look at this as well, I say to myself, well, let's choose a compatible number. Remember that estimation strategy? And I'm going to do this off to the side. 2 and 52 hundredths is close to 3. And 3 divided by 3 is going to be around 1. Now, since this is a smaller number divided by 3, I'm going to get a smaller portion down here, so I know my answer is going to be less than 1. Let's go ahead and fit that underneath the division bar. 252 divided by 3. Once again, the first thing I do is line up that decimal in the quotient right above the dividend, right there. 3 goes into 2. How many times does 3 go into 2? Well, it goes 0 times. 0 times 3 is 0. 2 drops down. I'm going to go ahead and drop down the 5 to right here. How many 3's go into 25? Well, there's 8. Notice how I'm just dividing as if they were whole numbers at this point. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract here 5. 25 subtract 4 is 1. Bring down the last number, which is the 2, for 12. 3 goes into 12 4 times. So as I look at this, my answer is 84 hundredths. Is that less than 1? Yeah. Is it close to being 1? Absolutely. So 84 hundredths is my answer. Let's go to the next example. In this case, we're using a little bit of algebra. It says evaluate 435 thousandths divided by x for each given value of x. And then estimate first. So the first substitution, well, actually the only substitution in this example, is to substitute x with 15. So I'm going to rewrite 435 thousandths divided by x as 435 thousandths divided by 15, the whole number 15. Now, one way in which I can choose compatible numbers is I'm going to look at this as 45 hundredths. That's going to be close to 45 hundredths. All right. Oops. I don't want to do that. No. 45 hundredths divided by compatible number, I'm going to say 10. And when I divide this by 10, 45, and I'm going to think about this in terms of cents, 45 cents divided by 10, I know I'm going to have about 4 cents, 5 cents that I have to deal with. 4 or 5 cents is the answer to this problem. Now, what does that mean in terms of the actual number? It would mean around 0.04 or 0.05. Okay, so this whole thing is my estimation right here. Now, when I actually do it, I'm going to put 0.435 underneath the division bar, and I'll put 15 as a divisor out here. Once again, align the decimal in the quotient with the decimal in the dividend. 15 goes into 0 times. Bring down the 4. 15 goes into 4 0 times. 0 times 15 is 0. Subtract that. Come home with a 4. Now I drag down a 3. 15 goes into 43 twice. Now, 2 times 15 is 30. I have a 3, I have a 1, and now I bring down that 5. When I bring down that 5, I have to figure out how many 15s go into 135. And I'm going to look here at around, I can guess. I know that 10 times 15 is 150, so I'm going to try 9. 9 times 15, 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 is 13. Ah, beautiful. No remainder here. I do have 29 thousandths. Now, is 29 thousandths close to 400ths or 500ths? You know what? It is. In fact, 29 thousandths is close to 300ths. It's close to it. It's a reasonable answer, and it is correct. Finally, we get to your problems. I want you to go ahead and divide these two problems, 2 and 496 thousandths divided by 12. Now I want you to estimate first, and then I want you to go ahead and divide 3,552 by 3. And again, estimate first as best you can. All right, we'll see you in class.